Welcome to day 7 of the IFSC Youth World Championships. Today we're eating breakfast, looking at a quali route in detail and bringing you some of the action from the qualifying going on behind me. Now, one of the joys about this event is we get to spend time with teams that we don't usually see on the main IFSC circuit, and Team New Zealand is one of those. They travel a long way to get here, so we went to their hotel to hang out with them. We've all seen athletes competing at competitions, but we wanted to go a little bit deeper on this daily show. Behind me is the hotel where Team New Zealand are staying. We're going to hang out with them a little bit, see how they spend their morning, what they do on the road, and then go for a training session with them. Can't wait. Hello guys, you all right? How you doing? Right, I'm going to grab the first person I can see, which is you, my friend. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good, just having breakfast, you know.
Nutritional values in there? Have you gone for something like good for climbing?
Yeah, just eggs, just turn everything into a sandwich, you know.
Very wise, I like that, yeah, very good. All right, mate, I'll see you in a bit, thank you very much. I'm gonna go sit down by these guys because they look like they don't want to be talked to, so I'm gonna go and talk to them. Right, good morning, how are you doing? So talk me through the breakfast. You've gone for eggs, cereal and yogurt, and then you've gone pure bread and chicken. I like this. Are you gonna dip the chicken into the yogurt?
Gotta try everything once, I guess.
I think I've blown your mind. I think you should try it. And look, do you tend to pick food and stuff that because you've got a busy training day coming up? Is that focused in your head with the food you pick?
I try and pick food that will fill me, but also is healthy. So I like to get some fruit, some protein, and some dairy. Pretty much, yeah. Try to cover everything off, really. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'll let you get on with your breakfast. Cheers, lads. Thank you very much. Guys, talk to me about the travel side of what you do, because being based in New Zealand, you're nowhere near anything, especially with all the European events. That's a big part of competing. You must be tired when you travel.
We are exhausted. That's why we tend to, when we come to Youth World Cups, we go and do a stop off somewhere else so that we can adjust to the time zone, the temperature, the jet lag, because a lot of the time it's the opposite season as well over here, because it's something like 2 degrees Celsius in New Zealand, and then over here it's about 35. So it's a big jump, but it's helpful that we have air conditioning.
What's the most exciting thing about travel, and then what's the hardest thing about it?
The most exciting thing would just be seeing new places and like meeting new people. And the hardest thing, honestly, probably adjusting to like the temperatures and the time zones and everything. Like especially here, it's super hot compared to where I live.
And for you, is it hard being away from friends and family, or does the team sort of replace that a little bit for you?
The team just has such a strong bond, they already feel like family. I mean, I didn't know half of these guys until we came on this trip, but yeah, it's great. We stayed up quite late nights in Houston playing card games. Yeah, we didn't get much sleep, but it was good. And I do miss my family, but not as much as I thought I would. And my friends, I've got new friends.
Hello, Chris. Morning, mate. How you doing?
How are you?
I'm all right. It's quite early in the morning here, isn't it? This early morning wake up, is this usual for you guys?
Yeah, totally. Well, we're on New Zealand time, so 17 hours difference, so yeah.
So tell me about your job with the team a little bit, because there's a lot of Team New Zealand here. I presume you're sort of like a bit of a father figure, a bit of a coach, and trying to just keep everyone together.
Totally. Keep them all together and get them ready for each discipline. Yeah, you know, like we've got quite a schedule of who's on next. Speed team take focus today and tomorrow for the events coming up, and then move on to the lead team. Yeah. What this team's all about is development squad, opening up after COVID, get on the road, get role model to the other athletes in New Zealand. Here's the opportunity. That was a real focus of getting this trip under the way. We expected 5 or 6 athletes to come.
There's a few more than that, yeah.
So we got 14, so it's great.
Right, I've been told to come talk to you boys about outdoor climbing, because we all love the plastic, of course, and that's the focus of it, but real rock is, for some people, where it's at. So if I was to go to New Zealand, is it a good place to go rock climbing as well as indoor climbing?
Oh yeah, like I'll let Oscar handle the bouldering. I know less about that, but yeah, I'd say our lead climbing is like really, really good. We got huge, in Milford Sound, we got huge granite cliffs and walls with some really hard climbs and the most beautiful scenery while climbing. So that's a pretty unique and awesome experience.
Castle Hill is the most awesome place, like so beautiful. Man, I don't know what to say about it. It's just a really unique style of climbing. Like I've never really seen anything like it anywhere else. Really slick limestone of just like really weird undulating features and really beautiful movement and really very unique.
Very unique, yeah.
Yeah, and there's something there for everyone, you know. It's like some really hard techie slabs, and then you've got some really steep, powerful stuff on really small holes or pockets and that kind of thing. So it's a really good mixture. Yeah, really unique.
You've sold me. I'm definitely coming at some point. Cool. Well, look, I know you guys are trying to eat breakfast and I keep trying to annoy you. So I'll let you finish and then we're going to Texas training facility to have a climb, right?
Yep. Sounds good. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, we'll cut here and then we'll see you guys in a climbing gym. The second half of that video where we go training with Team New Zealand will be out in the final episode of this daily series. So keep an eye out for that. Now, when you see a qualifying route in pictures or on TV, it's hard to see how difficult that route really is. So we got one of the route testers to climb it, we filmed it, and then we analysed all the action. Check it out. So let's start off with the bottom of the route. What are those first few moves and sequences like?
Yeah, so the beginning is very crimpy and like there's a lot of just like matching and like weird body positions that you have to get into. The clips are kind of weird, but in the end, if you read it right, it's pretty straightforward. But yeah, it's kind of weird body positions, just pulling as hard as you can. But the beginning, I don't think is a part where they're trying to make you fall, just trying to get you pumped.
And then we come to the blue volumes, which kind of kick the angle back a little bit. And the climbing looks harder to read through there.
Yeah, it definitely gets more confusing. When I was being told the beta before, I had to go over that in my mind like 5 or 6 times just so I can know what to do there. But once you do get the beta down, which is pretty much the whole route, it's pretty straightforward. There are some crimps that you kind of have to get around to get to the volume, some bigger moves, and then some like slopers that you just kind of have to pull through, and then, yeah.
Talk me through, from the undercling, where do you go next?
Yeah, so from the undercling, to get into the big white one is kind of hard too. You kind of have to like do a big like shoulder press and then pull into it. But then there you could, if you wanted to, get like a double knee bar shake there, like full no hands with smearing on the wall. But then pulling out of that gets super, super physical because you don't have any feet below you and you have to go to a pocket and then cross far underneath to a little crimp that's not too good. And there are multiple ways to do this section, but the easiest would be grabbing it, getting a knee bar in right where it is, kind of doing a knee-hand match, and then pulling up and then going to the blocked crimps.
Standing on that no-tech surface, it always looks like a scary moment. Presumably you've really got to be thinking about your footwork through there.
Yeah, especially with lead where you only have one shot, it's kind of nerve-wracking. Just like being here, pulling as hard as you can because you're standing on it with a down-turning jug. But you kind of just have to trust your feet and hope that they won't slip. But it's a big enough surface where you're not that concerned about it.
And then after the slippy part, you're aiming for what looks from the ground to be a jug about halfway up on the wall, sort of a rhino horn curve. And yet, again, it looks like an awkward body position.
Yeah, so once you get into that, it's kind of nice just because you're sagging in one arm. But getting up to that, it's very compression-y and you have to just be super tight.
And then once you're through that section, we're nearing the top of the wall. And I can see small blue crimps up high, which is the last thing you want when your forearms are burning.
Yeah, no, the crimps, Most of them are just for, or the one below is for bumping, but then once you get up to the last moves, you're just like pulling as hard as you can, crimping as hard as you can, just kind of fighting for the last move, or then you just do jump as big as you can to this great jug, but like it's nerve-wracking.
It looks like a tough route. It's going to be a big ask for our athletes competing on it, right?
Definitely going to be hard for both A's and juniors. I would like to see a top, but I could see it going either way with one or without one.
Well, Cadence, it was amazing watching you on that, honestly. Like, I don't think people realise how hard these routes are, because we're talking definitely in the 8s, potentially 8B, 8B plus, I reckon.
I'd probably say 8B, 8B plus. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, so mega hard. Well, that's what the athletes have to come. Good luck to them. Caden was right. The route was hard. In fact, no one today managed to top it. So after the boulder and speed rounds earlier in the week, it was time for the lead wall to become the highlight. The 19-metre high monolith is at the centre of the summit gym, and 2 groups of athletes, the junior male and female and the youth A categories, were competing. Each group had 2 climbs, so there were 6 routes in action. Only 26 athletes from each category made it through to the semi-finals, and here are the qualifiers from the female juniors. Natsuki Tani, who has been regularly making the top 10 in IFSC senior comps, got 2 tops on her way to a #1 position. Lucia Tarkas, who came 11th in boulder earlier in the week, got through in 4th. And remember Nika Potapova, who we followed in an earlier show? Well, she's in 10th. Down at the bottom, Anne Akre just made it through, pushing out Morgan Tajé. Moving on to the junior males, and there were no tops, but Zento Murashita did best, a 49 plus on Route 1, putting him at the top. Hannes van Dyssen, who won his boulder category and got that gold medal, is safely through in lead in 10th position. Team GB got 3 athletes through, Joseph Exirius, Daniel Smith and Diane Akhtar. Finally, Youth A female and another World Cup regular, Alexandra Totkova, is in the #1 spot, while boulder finalists from earlier in the week, Sarah Chopper, is close behind, with both women topping out Route 2. Alessia Maboni, who came 3rd in boulder and is nursing a knee injury, got through in 5th.